Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. And today we're going to be getting your reaction to Rob Walter's press conference. I wanted to get your guys' thoughts and commentary on it because it's a day for everything to settle, and I want to hear it with fresh ears and try to get an understanding from you guys on what you think and what you feel after that defeat to India. It wasn't a very easy game to accept, and it wasn't something that was very easy for us to digest and analyze. But we do have a press conference from the coach to try and understand what went through his mind after this game and how he answered the questions about this particular defeat. So today's show is going to be about you guys giving your thoughts on this, and I want to see your commentary on it. But before we get going, before we get started, there's a couple of things I'd like you guys to please do. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe, click that notification bell for all future videos, please. I'd also like you guys to please subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. The link is on the screen right now, as well as in the description. If you want to show your support for Cricket Fanatics Magazine and everything that we are doing here, and you want to see us continue doing what we are doing, please become a patron today. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. Smash the like button on the way in and go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your regular updates. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. I'm interested to see what your opinions are when it comes to Rob Walter's reaction to the India defeat. A very good evening and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host, Khalid, and this is the show where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. And today I want to react to Rob Walter's press conference after the India defeat. I think we've had some time now to settle down after the victory, after the defeat to India, and try to digest everything, let our tempers or feelings about the match calm down a little bit before we go into moving forward and into the next match. So I've got the press conference available right now on the channel, but I also have it here for you guys. So we're going to react to it now live and try and get some takeaways from it. And I would like to see what you guys think based on his reaction. Do you agree with some of the things he said? Disagree? Where are you sitting currently with regards to it? So let's get into it and see what he had to say. And yeah, as the questions come on the screen and he says a couple of things, guys, I want to try and get your commentary for each question if you can, and try to read it out and discuss it. Anything that stands out from the press conference. So let's get into it.
Yeah, good thing you do. Obviously, things went wrong out there, but why did they go wrong?
Good question, and an understatement altogether. To be fair, just a day that we were outskilled, really. I didn't feel that was a 320 pitch. They obviously got off to a flyer. We pulled it back nicely. I thought Keshav bowled beautifully today, along with KG. And yeah, 320 was too much on that deck, and then from a bowling point of view, they put us under pressure right from the word go. Couldn't claw our way back in, and as I said, just got outskilled on the day.
Rob, are you guys okay with that response? To accept the fact that we just got outskilled on the day. The bowling performance particularly was not good, and it wasn't necessarily a 327 wicket. That's what Rob is saying. So that kind of doesn't that kind of defend your batters in a way, in a small way, because regardless of whether it was a 320 wicket or not, we still shouldn't have performed the way we did with the bat. Now, I hope that they get into it a little bit further on as we go through this press conference. But just from that first question, yes, we were outskilled. And the big question is, why were we outskilled?
I just wondered about the the nerves that appeared to be on display at the start of the match. There was a lot of talk from 3 or 4 of the players before the game about it just being another game of cricket, which evidently it wasn't going to be. You're playing India in a World Cup game at Eden Gardens in front of 70,000. And I just wondered whether that was a deliberate thing to try and treat it like a normal game of cricket rather than sort of embrace the fact that it obviously wouldn't be.
To be dead honest, I mean, in the lead up to the game as well as just before the game, I didn't have a sense of the guys being overawed or nervous by the situation. I mean, the whole thing we spoke about this week was actually being excited by the occasion. You know, it's not very often you get to play at a full Eden Gardens against India in a World Cup, you know. So from that point of view, it was exciting for me more than anything else, and I genuinely felt that the players were excited by the occasion. So, I mean, I can't speak for them individually, but I didn't get a sense of a huge amount of nerves prior to the game. That said, our execution probably let us down more than anything else and put us on the back foot.
Yes, the execution did let the team down, but there was some, I don't know if it's nerves necessarily. There was definitely looked like there was nerves from Marco Jansen. And I don't know, is he completely talking truth here? Because if they were excited for this game, if they were as excited as he's saying that they were up for this game, I think you'd see a completely different response from your team then. You'd see a team that is in their element ultimately, not creating so many mistakes. So I don't know if I completely fully agree with what he's saying, unless he just doesn't know how the individuals were feeling. But from certain players, it did look like a bit of nerves. Well, particularly from Marco, you could see that he was kind of nervous going into this match, and that's expected from a younger player. We all knew he's going to be nervous going into this game after the press conference. So, yes, it was execution, but you wouldn't expect the execution to be so far off as it was here.
Rob, if you were to meet this Indian team again, I know there's still a lot that needs to happen for that. From today's game, do you have a sense that there are areas that you can target them, or do they feel a bit unbeatable at the moment?
I mean, they're a hell of a team, and very well balanced and highly skilled. So, and there's no way around it. They've won every game and they've won it well. But you have to believe that on a day, if you execute your skills, you've also got a chance. And we just didn't right from the word go. So we know already what Marco Jansen can do with a new ball. He just, you know, today wasn't an off day. The guy's a young guy playing in a World Cup. He's played 7 excellent games to point and didn't have a great start today, and could just as easily bowl very well the next time we find ourselves against him if we're able to. So yeah, this game is a funny game, and you get taught new lessons every single day and get surprised every single day. So it wouldn't surprise me if the tables turn the next time round. The beauty of it is that there may well be another shot for us, and we've been given an opportunity to learn from that. So.
Rob, I'm over here. Is there any room to say that maybe things aren't so bad because you didn't beat yourselves, as South African teams have done in the past, that you were completely clubbed by a vastly superior team? Or is that just mission statement talk?
No, I mean, the scoreboard will tell you everything you need to know. India were far superior than we were today. There's no two ways about that. But just like we've played in this tournament, we've been far superior than other teams that on a piece of paper look evenly matched or potentially superior. So, that once you get your nose in front in international cricket, I believe that anyone can beat anyone. And today, the Indian side got their nose in front, a highly skilled team, and we weren't able to get back into the game.
Okay, hi Rob. Rob, just on Marco, I mean, you spoke about him being young and he's had such a good game so far, before today. How will you handle him after this now? Because, I mean, this was a really tough lesson for him and he came apart a little bit.
To be honest, it's a gift, isn't it? Being able to run out in front of 75,000 in a game like today, and so many learning opportunities out there. Fortunately for us, today wasn't a must-win fixture. It was just an opportunity to play against a really good team. And yeah, he struggled today, but as I said, he's got the skill set to bounce back and be, effective the next time round. And what he does have is the value of having already run out, competed, felt what it's like to be in a cauldron with 70,000 people cheering against you. And he'll have that as experience that's invaluable. You can't get that anywhere else but here.
Sam says, I think in chasing SA batters should not be smashing, should not thinking of to smash boundaries or putting lots of dot balls. They only wait for bad balls, and strike rotation is key in the main problem in the patience. And strike rotation is key. So were outplayed, says Alan. The guys were nervous though, and Rob, let's not get it wrong, quite clear to see. Lorenzo says, with all due respect, but Rob is talking BS. Clearly, they were nervous. We could see it. How couldn't he? And sometimes, managers or coaches say things in press conferences kind of to protect their players. And I don't know if this is a case of that currently. After the World Cup against India series, I don't want to see Ngidi Shamsi bring back new players like Bayer Swanepoel, Brevis Berger. We know about you wanting the whole domestic setup to play for the Proteas. Macmillan, Riley on his way to India to go for Indian cuisine cooking course, not a replacement. Looks like Marco's nerves and shocking bowling affected the whole team, says Macmillan. Shamo looked terrified. Same with Marco and even Lungi, says Lawrence. Real G says, I disagree with Rob. The guys were extremely nervous. It was too evident. They gave India too much respect. And the approach was, to me, looked like they were, but either nervous or you could say to an extent scared, because all of the approach with the bat and with the ball was all on the defensive. All on the defensive. I'm starting to treat what coaches and players say in impresses with a pinch of salt. They'll always be ultra positive and will majority of the time give diplomatic answers. And this says, will Bavuma play in the semis if he doesn't perform against Afghanistan? Yeah, I'm taking it as that Rob will back his captain and play him in every single match, regardless of what we think, regardless of what fans think, some fans think. I think they will back him right through. We played Australia and New Zealand. The guys didn't have so much respect for the opposition like they showed against India. Lorenzo says another crap answer. He doesn't even look disappointed. And by the looks of it, doesn't seem to take responsibility. Not even public apology to the diehard fans who supports them through thick and thin. Khalid, this is continuously third ICC tournament for Bavuma as captain. But he shouldn't have been captain for the T20 team, and he shouldn't have been in that team. Hasn't scored 50s. We really need captain up front. It will boost confidence to all players. Marco will come back strong. Still remember how we smashed Bumrah last year in Test series. Kutsia needs to play instead of Lungi. Shamsi needs to pull up sorry. Don't know why it's not selecting your comment. There we go. Shamsi needs to pull up his socks. I think all of us can take a loss as that's part of sport, but there's definitely a way to lose. And yesterday wasn't that. Losing is good, but losing like this is horrible. Sir. And I agree with you because I said that on the review show. I said specifically that there's ways to lose. Um, I don't mind us losing like New Zealand lost to Australia. Like they went down swinging.
Rob, just in terms of, you mentioned that it probably, as it turned out, and it wasn't necessarily your guys' fault, it's just how the results panned out, that this game sort of like turned into more of an exhibition, where you could showcase your skills instead of being a must-win. But do you think that perhaps did weigh on the guys' minds, the fact that a semi-final is secured now and two-pronged? Do you believe now that 4 days in between the Afghan game, might actually be a good thing after the lessons that were learned here?
I think if you walk into that change room now, you're going to find a group of guys highly disappointed that we weren't able to pay tribute to what was an awesome occasion, like a great opportunity for us to showcase our skill. We played so well throughout this entire World Cup, and we would have wanted nothing more than this to be a great contest. And as far as the next 4 days go, for us it's really about doing what we've done the whole time, using the time we've got available to us to get ready for the next fixture, and then into a semi-final. So nothing changes there. The guys have worked incredibly hard to this point. We've worked incredibly hard on our game, invested a huge amount of time into our preparation. And so now it's really about just mentally recovering, physically recovering, and being ready to compete like we have the whole tournament.
Hi, this is Kaushik from Times Bangla. Do you think, sir, that the pitch is...
Okay. Lorenzo says, I can assure you if Shukri, I assume you say, I see you say, you correct yourself. If Shukri was coach, he'd be very disappointed and he wouldn't have said the things he would have said things for what they are. And that's why I have a massive respect for Coach Shukri, a no-nonsense guy with BMT. Suraj says, Bavuma is the biggest problem in that South African team. Macmillan says, are these Bavuma headhunters actually South African or Indian South African fans? Sorry. Bavuma was not the only issue, it was the whole batting lineup. India as from India. South Africa need an aggressive coach for white ball cricket like McCallum. Really looking for a new coach. I'm not very happy with some of the answers. It's like, I mean, what do I really expect at this moment?
is the key factor so that the batting strength of South Africa succumb to the spin attack of Indian squad?
Yeah, I think it would be very short-sighted and unfair of me to blame the pitch. One side gets 320 and we get bowled out for 80. That doesn't sound right, does it? So, to be fair, as I said, 320 was too much on that pitch. I think we'll all reflect on that and say that was probably 70 or 80 too many. But on the other side, I think India were excellent, and I wouldn't blame the pitch on that part.
But yes, India were excellent. And maybe to some extent, I have a little bit of respect for, I'm not throwing any players under the bus. But yes, England were excellent. India was excellent. But South Africa was extremely poor and they got the game plan completely wrong. Like I said, I think our approach when we chase is completely wrong. There needs to be a focus on the mindset needs to be, I know it's different to start to bat first and to chase. I know there's a difference, and I know there's a big difference. We could see that in this particular World Cup so far. But honestly, the approach in our chases have all been the same: eating up dot balls, not rotating the strike, losing an early wicket, and then things start to crumble. We need to find a way to rotate the strike and put pressure back on the opposition bowlers when we are chasing. I think that and I've said it so many times, that we need to kind of approach things like you would approach batting first. Um, he can't come out and say what the journalists want him to say. They baited Marco in the presser so he can be more blasé. What? So anyway, that's true. They did, and I was a bit worried about Marco after that. As you saw in my reaction to that press conference, I was a little bit more like I said a little message to Marco, hoping you hope that these guys watch some of the stuff, just to say that he needs to you know not put too much pressure on himself in a match like that. But at the age that he is, in his first ever World Cup, in front of 75,000 people in the stadium, I was hoping that IPL would prepare him for that, because I've seen him bowl under pressure in the IPL in front of a packed stadium before. But when it's your country, the pressure just goes up extra. He's acting like we got bowled up for 250. We got bowled up for 82, 83, to be exact. No, I'm joking. Yeah, but that's the thing. That's why I said I'm not very happy with these answers, because it was terrible, and I don't think the players would hate him for him saying that. I think people should understand that it's not headhunting for Temba, but the criticism he's getting is fair. People criticize RVD before the World Cup, and he averages over 50. So it's not a Temba thing only. I told you that Shamji's record against India is always poor, no matter how suitable conditions for spin. But Shamji always performed below par against India. He should be in tears, says Javier. No discipline in the bowling by Marco and Ngidi. Khalid, any news on Ngidi's fitness? I did not receive anything about Ngidi's fitness. No, we did not receive any information on that. They obviously have like an off day, so let me just double check that. I don't want to say the incorrect information, but they have a travel day to Ahmedabad now. Then they have a rest day tomorrow, so there's no media opportunity. So we might get news tomorrow probably about Lungi. And then on Wednesday, we will get a press conference. And then Thursday, we'll get the pre-match press conference. And then on Friday, we play. Yeah. Every team's openers attacks in the power play, and Bavuma becomes ball blocking machine in the power play. If opposition teams got the cock early, then South Africa's chances will become difficult. What the rule in CSA, as any player can get a chance to play for his country. There is no rules for players' fitness. Shamji is so poor fitness because of that. His bowling so worse and fielding just looking wow. Why people cannot accept the fact that one special player can cost South Africa to qualify for a final. That special player has so much of effect on people's minds. They can't ready to listen to the truth. The difficult things would be SA has to forget this loss, and otherwise would be difficult to beat from Australia, inform Australia, sorry. Can't be saying that no pressure because the whole choker moniker will be chucked around by the world press if he does. 100%. Tema to make 100 in the semis, says Keenan. I get the feeling Rob are trying to hide by emphasizing how good India were. He clearly doesn't even say on how bad we were and how planless we were. Embarrassing presser, in my opinion. Yeah, let's continue this presser. I thought that it would give a little bit more.
Rob, I know there's been questions about nerves. Um, I'm sure between in the innings break you might have had, and through the innings you might have had a chat with your bowlers. Was it actually nerves, or was it, did they come across something they didn't expect because India have been starting really quickly? What was it in those first 10 overs? Because after that you actually pulled them back pretty well.
Look, I think the one thing that was different today certainly is, we've been able to swing the ball, the new ball, and most of the time we've been doing it at night. So we were bowling first, so there wasn't as much swing as we've been used to. But along with that, our execution was off. And with that, if you've got a guy like Rohit Sharma who's on the other end, if you miss your areas, you're going to fetch. And we did. So 91 after 10, you're behind the 8 ball already. And then you're busy, clawing back from there, which we did. I thought we did exceptionally well. As I said, Keshav was outstanding today, and KG as well. So, yeah, I mean, it's. I don't want to look too far or too more deeply into it than that.
Okay. Quite a disappointing presser. And yet it has one of the most amount of views on our channel when I uploaded it. So, yeah, crazy. I wasn't very impressed with that particular presser. There wasn't necessarily anything to give the fans a little respite. I don't know. There should be no excuses for being bowled out for 83 in a World Cup. There aren't any. Question would come again if Temba, if he against Afghanistan failed against Afghanistan, I hope he would not. Just Ginger Josh says, what do you think of Shakib staying with his decision to appeal for the time out on Angelo Matthews? Crazy scenes. Yeah, I don't think that was very sportsmanlike, in my opinion. Especially because it was something to do with the helmet, which puts the player in danger ultimately. So I do think that was a little bit unsportsmanlike from that standpoint. Lorenzo says, to be honest, if Lungi is fit, I still won't select him. Imagine selecting him and after 2 overs he limps off. We can't afford that risk with only 5 specialist bowlers. Plus Gerald is bowling better in my opinion. Darren says, they do different roles though. We must remember that as well. When we lose like this, everyone, including coach, should be penalized 50% of the match fees. It won't happen again. I didn't like those answers. Looks like SA is scared by this Indian side. If you do so, no matter bat first or bowl, you would lose. Again, talking about the Indians and not answering the question that was asked. Yeah. The South African team has half of a mid-30s guys. After this World Cup should be introduced fresh blood and build the team. Now Champions Trophy is also coming in 2025. We'll worry about what happens after the World Cup when it gets there. I mark my words, if SA lost in the final after what that again, Bavuma will get back in the squad. Coach will say he's in our senior players. His experience needed. His form has not was not good, but will be beneficial. Lorenzo, that will mean KG opens the bowling. Who will be the enforcer? Remember, there's no Andrich, and that's why I say they play two different roles. Gerald is the enforcer for us on this World Cup. Took 14 wickets in the second power play, so that's being an enforcer. Um, yes, talking nonsense. Agree with Lorenzo and Gide's fitness is a concern. Wickets win games. Is Riley traveling as backup for Ngidi? I don't think he is. It wouldn't make sense to me if they bring him as a replacement. It really wouldn't. He hasn't played any 50 over cricket in forever. It would be a very strange decision if they call him up. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what the news is on Lungi's injury because we don't really have any information regarding that. So we have to wait and see for that. But guys, I wasn't very impressed with that press conference. I was hoping for a little bit more. I hope this team rests up and gets ready for the next game against Afghanistan. I still believe that we should chase against Afghanistan ultimately. I do, to an extent, respect Rob for maybe trying to protect the players as well, but and doing that. But when the defeat is this bad, like 83 all out, conceding 327 on this pitch, especially when you're bowling so many extras, that's my biggest concern. I think Rog should have just come out and said, "Look, India is better than us. We never stood a chance," because all he talked about was how brilliant India was. Gives me a sense of their thoughts before the game. Rob was protecting the side, deflecting. I do feel our old World Cup history is a massive sticking point, and they are trying to keep the side from being lumped into the old sides. No accountability was taken, says Lawrence. The Proteas need to get on a group call with the Springboks. They need a pep talk. Riley Rousseau can do some things like Travis Head doing for Australia. Imagine the Cock Rousseau. They can do some things like Warner Head. Guys, please don't make it seem that Gerald isn't good enough to play that enforcer role as he currently is doing that brilliantly. KJ opening the... No, he can definitely... That's the role he's playing. He is the enforcer. He is the guy that's playing that role currently for South Africa. And doing a brilliant job at it. The concern is the opening. Who's going to open with Marco? KG's been bowling really well, coming in after in the middle, coming in after Lungi and first change. And he's been doing a good job by taking big wickets as well, doing that role. But Lungi, let's not deny that Lungi also has a massive responsibility, a massive role to play in this team as well. And if he's missing, we will miss him. But then again, if he's not doing well, I mean, if he's unfit, then obviously don't force him to play. I mean, if he's unfit, then he shouldn't play. That's as simple as that. We shouldn't force him to play just because we need him in the team. Khalid, will they drop Avuma in the semis if they don't perform in the next match? I highly doubt it. I don't think they would drop their captain for a semi-final. It is highly unfortunate that Pavuma is not getting runs. I agree he has done well, but I'm not sure if he puts fear into the opposition. Why Riley is going to Kolkata, no clue. And we'll never find out because he doesn't really speak much. You need KG to bowl in tandem with Gerald. It's taking the pressure off Kutsia when he does get carted a bit. Must not upset the apple cart by messing up the bowling order. I don't agree with the statement, Sam. There are 3 matches now. They have to come up as the best team to be the world champions. Being strike bowling Gidi, only able to take 7 wickets in 8 matches. If Lungi don't play, who is going to take the new ball? Is it Lazard? Lazard went back home now currently for the birth of his child. I don't know when he's returning back to the team again, but he'll probably return before the next match on Friday. Would rather go with a guy who is huge risk fitness wise, or go with a guy who's currently doing brilliantly and he offers more with the bat. KG will also relish opening the bowling, in my opinion. It's also the role and the pairs that we have to look at. We can't just look at things as black and white. Cricket is not a black and white sport. So when it comes to it's not like a plain and simple sport, is what I meant with that statement. So the reason I think Gerald is bowling also that well is because of, I agree. I think the bowling with KG on the other end is giving him a lot of, they're utilizing him perfectly. They're using his skills at the right times and making the changes on the field. Lungi Ngidi, I think, with Marco has been doing the partnership is really working, I think, from both ends. Getting swing from the one side, Lungi's change ups on the other side. I think that has been working really well. KG bowls a lot better with the ball slightly a little bit older, not fully new. But I can see him also open the bowling. He's good enough to do so. But at the same time, Gerald Coetzee, I've been impressed with his performance so far in this tournament, but I wouldn't want to change his role now. That's the thing. I like the role he's bowling at the moment. But you also can't pick an unfit player. You need 10 overs from Lungi. He needs to be able to bowl the full 10 overs. So if he's not fit, then don't play him. But if he's fit, play him. That's what I believe. Well said, Sam. South Africa's reserves are very ordinary. Rob selected poor reserves. Can we open with Aiden or Kesh possibly? That is a possibility, and I'm surprised we haven't used spin as an opening option yet in this tournament. If Temba can't get runs in the next game, should we drop him in semi? Don't want to see informed players staying in bench again. Remind me 2015 semi-final. If Temba wants to be a leader like Sia, then he has to score 100 in the semi-final. He has to step up with the bat. He can't just be a captain in this team, a passenger in the team. He needs to perform. He needs to score some runs, and I think he knows that himself too. Knowing Temba Bavuma and what he is like as a person, he is the type of person that will be putting a hell of a lot of pressure on himself. He obviously does not want to perform the way he's performing currently. He wants to be able to contribute to the team. We also have the factor in that things do change in tournaments. These are international players and they should adapt. A hamstring injury is also an injury that takes weeks to heal. Definitely want 100%. Sam says the main problem currently, I think, in this team is that Pavuma knows himself that he is not performing. He do not chatting so much with players while bowling as well with batters because he also not perfect. Now, I think I've seen him talk to the players and try to speak up. I mean, in the press conferences, he's taken accountability and said that he hasn't been performing that well. We also have to factor in that things do change tournaments. These are international players and they should adapt. A hamstring injury is also an injury that takes weeks to heal. So definitely won't be 100%. Was it a hamstring? Because it did look like his foot, his ankle. When they took off his boot, etc., to look after him. Don't compare Bavuma with legendary Sia. Khalid Temba gets out of the same way against left-arm spinners. Doesn't really learn from his mistakes. A middle order should take responsibility for building innings and partnerships. Klaasen and Miller hasn't shown up when the top order fails. They have only performed when the top order performs. That's a fair point, actually. That's a fair point. Um, they have when we've had collapses, they haven't always stepped up. Think KG bowling with Gerald gives Gerald that confidence to be that enforcer as he has an experienced master on the other end. Can't have Kutsia like what happened with Marco against India. Because of hamstring injury, quality bowler like Matt Henry out of the tournament. Gerald should open the bowling, in my opinion. I do not think so. Not in the power play. Not on these grounds. Khalid will ODI captain change from Bavuma to Markham after this World Cup. It's a possibility. Maybe we must bat first and get 400 plus to give our players a confident boost. Don't think Gerald has the same control with the new ball. Unfortunately, Lungi is also not a guy you can play if not 100%. With others, you can take that risk, but definitely not with Lungi. Sure thing happened. Same thing happened in the 2019 World Cup. Guys, forget Janssen performance against India. He is our superstar bowler, no doubt. Problem is Shamsi and batters, especially Bavuma, in concern. Aiden Markram should be white ball format captain after this World Cup, frankly speaking. The problem against India, South Africa didn't attack at all. 0-6s in small Eden Gardens. Yeah, but people bowled that for 83, so like there wasn't even any chance. Guys, Gerald can bowl with Kesh too. We love overthinking things. Ethan Bosch should be given a chance in the India series. Sam is Captain Moni Pants. So yeah. Ultimately, guys, I wasn't 100% happy with that reaction to the India game from Rob. And I hope that there's an improved performance as well. And I hope there's a good recovery in the team, rest in the team, so that they can be ready for the Afghanistan match. I think again against Afghanistan, I think they should go after. I think they should go really after them and try to get that momentum and belief going into the semi-final. A massive victory will be perfect, but Afghanistan is not an easy team to beat. So that is something that I don't really enjoy. With regards to this press conference, I'm surprised that Rob was praising India and not talking about our problems. I would have liked to hear as a fan where he where he thinks things went wrong with the team, but perhaps he wanted to try and protect his players. But and it's just something that I thought I would have liked to hear in a press conference as a fan. I would have liked to hear him analyze it and speak about it and say where he felt things went wrong. But the whole presser was all about praising India for how good they were and not taking accountability for how crap we were. So yeah, that I didn't really like at all. But guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to obviously subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell for all future videos. I would also like you guys to please download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. Link is in the description. And to support us and show your support for us, please become a patron today. Link is in the description. Smash the like button, comment and share, and go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your regular updates. Let me just get a couple of more um, questions here at the end. Really glad that we are already through to the semis and Afghanistan game is not a knockout. Sam, have a sense of humor, mate. All good. What happened now? Macmillan, I will take revenge with your comment fighting with me. I hope this is like us again. The Dutch, there's a little bit of fighting going in the live chat, like a little rivalry. Really glad that we are already through to the semis and Afghanistan game is not a knockout. Sam, have a sense of humor. It's all good, mate. Hypothetically, if Lungi injured and we could replace him in the squad, who would you pick? Living got injured and you could replace him in the squad, who would you pick? I would go with Donovan or with Stubbs, an extra batting option. That's what I would do because we do have Gerald Kutsia bowling really well at the moment, so it does give us an option to play him in every game now if Lungi's not fit. Wanted to see New Zealand in the semi rather than Pakistan and Afghanistan because New Zealand deserves to be be in the semi. I know it won't happen, but if it was to happen, it will change this team for the better. Oh, you're talking about Geoff Linda. Geoff is injured at the moment, guys. He's not even playing for Western Province. Coach must praise opponent, but analyze own team more, in my opinion. You are correct. Yeah, I didn't like that really. But maybe it's a tactic. I don't know. Who is going to be the fourth semi? Tough one. Bring Nandeberger in for Bayer Swanepoel in place of injured Ngidi. Will we see Hendrik soon? I'm not sure. I'm not going to say words that I don't understand. Just now you're going to, Aditya, I'm not going to say words I don't understand or whatever. Just now you're asking me to say weird things here online. Bavuma only perform in home conditions. If we don't reach final, Markram should take over ODI captain and Bavuma continue only in tests. Hopefully Pakistan, New Zealand can take care of India for us. Khalid, your show brings us fans together, wine, cry, and celebrate. Thanks for the support and being here every single day for it. We are trying our best. I'm trying my best here to give us a platform to be able to speak and express ourselves. So yeah, that's something that I really want to try and do for all of you guys. So thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I'll see you guys again tomorrow with another daily show. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and peace out.